Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Christy and this is Christy's Pulse. On this channel I film content about faith and I live in Saskatoon, Canada as an immigrant. I think this new is supposed to be living small. We've been here for about 7-8 months, so it's like we are not so new anymore, Abby. I share with you I live as immigrants in Saskatoon, Canada, and all the good stuff. I'm at to collect glasses today. I think I'm having too much of screen time, and my eyes is beginning to say, you need to calm down with the screen time, and that's the reason for these glasses today. So you can ignore it, or if you are not going to ignore it, soak in the beauty with the glasses, with the everything that is beautifying together. If you are, a returning team sports, that this Christy girl likes to hype herself. Like, if I don't, what will you? Hype yourself, girl. So if you're returning to sports, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you a whole lot. And if you are seeing this pretty face, this energetic, this bundle of energy for the first time, this is Christy's Pulse, and this is a fun place to be. A place where you are lifted, you are motivated, you are spurred. A place of different kinds of useful information, and I assure you want to be here. So click on the subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of the subsequent videos. I also have a lot of fun videos I've done in times past. You might also want to check those out after you are done watching this. You might also want to check them out, check some other ones out. Thank you for subscribing and welcome to the family. Thank you guys. So today, before I say today, actually, before now, I've made a video. I'll put the links. I made a video about the things I miss about working in Nigeria. I also made a video about the things I miss about Nigeria itself. The things I miss about living in Nigeria. But I've gotten 1 or 2 comments that you're missing Nigeria, you're missing working in Nigeria. You've not actually, made a video to say the things you love about living in Canada, like from the perspective from the point of view of somebody that has lived like 30-something years in Nigeria and now living in Canada. Tell us, what do you love about living in Canada? And that is the reason for this video. I remember that our first few outings, when I say outings, like the first few times we went out without somebody coming to pick us, the first few times we actually went out ourselves. I remember that when we get to the roads, the motorways, we wait for the car to pass before we cross the road. And the first time we wanted to, cross the road and the car was waiting for us, we actually felt, oh, this person is such a nice person. Oh, thank you. We crossed the road and went. But I discovered that subsequent times, like when we go out, cars stop on. So I'm like, okay, it's like, it's their culture here to be nice. They are nice to pedestrians, I didn't know that it was like a driving rule, especially for places that have residential houses and all that. It's a rule for you to wait for pedestrians when you're driving. Like, I didn't know that until I had to, read up for my driving test and all that. It was part of the, rules, like pedestrians have the right of way. And I remember, Nigeria, my beloved country, you will run on the, you cannot run to cross streets. You cannot run to cross roads. You cannot run. It's like you are not ready to go to express road. You're not ready to, but it's like the rule. And that's the first thing. Is it the first thing or one of the things I love about being here? Like, pedestrians have the right of way. Even like whenever you're and on the main roads, on the express roads, there are actually signs. That actually the traffic lights put into consideration that people might want to cross the road, and there's like a timer that says that makes time for pedestrians. That's on the highways, on the very busy routes. There's a timer that that the timer is actually for people that want to cross, in case there's anybody that wants to cross. And at that time, the same way you will wait for other people, other drivers, if you are on red and you're on green, it's the same way you wait for the pedestrians. At that time they are crossing, it is their right of way. So that's something I love about being here. Like, there's this ease of, you know, that you can cross the road without, you don't have to run, you know. That was like something that blew my mind. Actually, I don't know if it should, but it's actually and maybe one of the reasons it blew my mind was because I know that we have zebra, we have zebra crossing in Nigeria. But tell me, if you're a Nigerian resident, tell me how many times you have stepped your foot on the zebra crossing and cars actually stopped for you. Please tell me in the comment section if that's ever happened to you. That zebra crossing, you stepped, you know, maybe the thing is once you step on the zebra crossing, cars should stop, Abby. Please tell me in the comments if it has ever happened that you stepped on a zebra crossing and cars actually stop. Zebra crossing. I hope the next mark of zebra will not be the one on your skin. I hope. But that actually blew my mind, like, okay. So a few weeks after we got here, I was doing something with my phone, and mistakenly, I don't know, till today, I'm not even sure I know what I pressed, but I pressed something that dialed 911. I don't know what I pressed. I was doing something like on the two sides, like on the power button and maybe volume button. Something pressed each other, and it was a mistake. I dialed 911. And I ended the call when I saw 911. Okay, and will not see reason for emergency. I don't have emergency to call 911, and I felt okay, that was the end. But I actually got a call back from 911, and they were asking, you know, questions just to ensure that I was not answering questions in a what's it called? Like, I was not under pressure to answer those questions I was answering. Like, I got a call back and the person was so, you know, patient and calm and polite and asking, you know, are you okay? Are you sure? We can. The person was, you know, asking questions just to ensure that whatever answers I was giving, I was not giving the answers under duress. The person was, and I know that I've heard of cases where, in case they hear that in your responses, in case they hear any sign of duress or any kind of pressure, they actually come to your, like, trace your number and come to your address just to check that, okay, that was actually a call in error. But I assured the person, like, no, I am very, very fine. It was something, I was doing something on my phone and it was in error and I'm okay. And that made me think of, don't let me even start the comparison. You know, I'll not, in this video, I'll try as much as I can. I'll leave you to, you know, the imagination. I'll try as much as I can not to compare, like, not to say, no, I will not try. In this video, the only thing I want to tell you is the things I love about Canada. I'll not try to tell you why I love those things, or, you know, I'll not try to. So I'll just tell you the things I love about Canada and we'll end it there. Don't let us disgrace ourselves in this video, you know. Don't let us disgrace ourselves. I'll just tell you. And you know why. If you're a Nigerian, you know why I'm saying we should not disgrace ourselves. I'll just tell you the things that I love. I will stop there. Let us stop there. That is okay, Rabbi. Just stop. Let us just stop there. So, you know, that also made me feel like, okay, like, the call was quite, like, it took a bit of time that she was trying to get, you know, just to confirm that I was okay. And that call was actually, like, just to confirm that the call was actually a call I made in error. That blew my mind. Like, really? Okay. One other thing I love about being here is the fact that the government is interested in your welfare. You know how we say in Nigeria, the same thing I said I'm not going to do. No, I won't do it. Okay, so we pay taxes and we see what our taxes are being used for. Like, it is like in front of our eyes. We can see it. We can see how not exactly how it is being spent, but we can see the basic amenities are there. You know, there are good roads there. And another thing that, you know, this tax matter brought to mind is when snow melted away and snow stopped and all that, and we came into spring. One thing I discovered was all the roads that snow spoiled. I started seeing cars, construction cars, I said cars, construction works going on those places that snow spoils. Of course, accumulation of water will spoil some places. Those places that were spoiled, nobody had to. You did not have to have a counselor. Is a counselor? A counselor living on your streets. You don't have to be living where a governor is staying. You don't have to be living in the place where the cousin of the president lives, or the niece of this same thing. I don't know how I'm going to do this thing, but the fact is, roads were just any part of the road that was spoiled, any part of the city, in any part of, we just saw that they were being repaired. There was no need to call anybody to say, can't you see that they saw it and they repaired it. And I heard that is what they do every spring. Like at the end of winter, once we get into spring, they start repairing roads that they discover that are spoiled. And that's just something that makes me feel, oh, that's cool. That's great. Don't you think it's nice? Don't you think it's nice? If you have driven on bad roads before, you know how nice it is to have people that are interested in you driving on good roads. Like they want to they wanted to drive on good roads. And something I know about, I don't know so much about cars, but I know that when you drive on good roads, it's like elongates the lifespan of your car better than if you are going into potholes every time. We will not talk too much about the potholes. We'll just talk about the fact that winter ended, spring started, and I saw construction companies working on the roads. Driving and rules. It's also part of the rules that when you hear like a siren or a police car, maybe not for you, like anytime you hear a siren on the roads, there's a laid out plan of what you should do. Like you are driving on the road, it's not I'm holding myself from do not do comparison, Christy. I'm holding myself back from trying to compare, but I think I'll just compare and just compare. How you hear siren like in traffic in some parts of Nigeria, and you be like, all of us are in this traffic together. There's nothing that anybody can do about it. Actually here when you hear the siren, you should move to your father's right. At that point, you don't have the right of way. At that point, you can't say, no, it is my time to, it's my turn to, turn, or it's my turn to go or something. When you hear a siren, you should allow them to go. Like wait. In fact, you should move to a place such that they can pass easily. You should not don't drag road with them. Don't drag, and that's still, talking about how much they value, lives and all that, how much it is important. Of course, you that you're in your car, you could be going to work. It is not a life-threatening situation to get late to work or to get late to your appointment or something, but somebody is in maybe a paramedic's vehicle and needs to get somewhere, and it is something that has to do with life and death or something. But those things are well laid out, and there are things you should do, and if you don't do them, there are fines to pay. So that's something I also love about being here. Another thing I love about being here is how much the government is interested in, seeing that you are okay, at least to a reasonable extent. You're coming here and staying your introvert self will not be beneficial to you. I'm not sure it will be in any way. You need people that can give information, because information is not, some of this information are not something you actually see on websites and all that. You actually get them from people maybe that have benefited, that are benefiting and all that. And one of those things you get through information is how the government is gives some things, I won't call it stipend actually. How the government gives some monthly allowances. Let me just call it allowances. The government gives monthly allowances to families that are not, or individuals that are not working. For example, you've been here, even if you are not new, maybe you lose your job, you could apply to the government to say you lost your job, you are not earning at the moment, this is your family size and all that, and they try to give you some allowances to keep you going until you're able to find something doing. That blew my mind. And you don't have to know somebody that knows somebody before you get these allowances. Like once you apply, they check some things. You don't have to know somebody. How the 5K they said they'll be giving employed youths. I don't know if anybody have received that money. I'm not. I don't know I don't know personally. I don't know the person that have received the money, but this one is not even about youths. Anybody that loses their job, that doesn't have a job, that and they could, of course, information is very easy to get with your social insurance number. It is easy to get whether you are earning or not, or it is easy to get all the information. So they do some verification, and in fact, if you apply this month, by the end of the next month you are getting something, and that is something that blew my mind. This next one I want to tell you about, I've actually heard it before I came here, and I was like, okay, when we get here we'll see how the thing is, we'll go see how the thing be. And that's about education. I heard that the free education there is like the private schools in Nigeria, like the standard of the private schools, how all the excursions, all the attention to details of each child and all that. Like the free schools is like the private schools we have in Nigeria. And I was like, okay, how does that work? But that is something we've actually enjoyed since we got here. Like sometimes they'll say they're going to excursion, or they're going, and all these things is at no cost to us. The only thing it's at no cost to the parents. Like they've gone, especially in this time that they are like finished rounding off the session, they've gone for excursions. In fact, they'll be sending us letters. They need parent volunteers that'll go with the kids, that'll go with them to the kiriko. There was even something I just threw away this afternoon when I was cleaning up. They needed parents to volunteer urgently for an excursion they wanted to go for, and they needed more aunts that will help them look after the kids. All these things are at no extra cost to parents, and in fact, the school, the education, the school bus, all these things are free. I don't know what the private schools entails. I don't know what is in them. I have no idea. But like I said earlier, the free education is just like you paying for all the the expensive private schools, not the not the Alabele private schools, not the Abele international schools. Not the local international. There are some local international schools. You know them, the local international schools. This is like international standards, and it's free. It's also it's something that I love about being here. And in fact, to send your child to daycare, I think I said it in one of the videos I made when we just got here about how daycare is expensive and all that. The government gives a sorry, please guys. You might see some situation around the back of this place. Please ignore it. Ignore the situation at the back. At the back of this face, just focus your attention on this face right here. And anything happening at the back, please ignore. So I was talking about how daycare is child daycare is expensive and all that, but the government even gives subsidy, like especially if you put your child in a registered daycare. All the daycares are registered. Like you can't just decide to open a daycare by if you decide to do that, then you might be putting yourself at risk the day the government catches you and decides that you are operating illegally, without the consent of the government. And anybody that is doing that is actually doing that, very hush. It's not something that can be loud and all that. So especially if you are with a legal, a registered daycare, you have what's it called? You have subsidy to your daycare. They give you a percentage of your daycare because they know how expensive it is, and they know that people need to go to work and all that. Are they not? Is this place not sweet? Like subsidy for daycare. I'm talking about subsidy for childcare and all that. One other thing we've enjoyed since we got here is actually getting childcare benefits. Every month the government says you have 3 kids, and this is dependent on, maybe I'll even make a video about this childcare bill. I don't know if it's worthy of making a whole video. I'll see the information about it. I don't think it's worth making a whole video about. Maybe I'll just talk about it here. So childcare benefits is dependent on the age of your child. Yes, it's majorly dependent on the age of your child. The age of your child determines how much you get. So the younger your child, the more you can have access to, more funds. you get from the government. And their explanation is that the younger kids need more things, more things like diaper, baby food, and all that, So the younger your child, the more childcare you have, and younger your child, the more childcare benefits you have access to. It's basically to say, take and use to take care of your kids. Take and use to take care of your children. Take and it's me that gave birth to the children. They'll still give me something to say. Take just for the welfare of the child. And I actually heard that some people actually ensure that they keep giving birth to children just because of this money. One other thing I've enjoyed, that I've loved about being here, is the fact that it is easy for you to get a job. Well, easy could be relative to some people, but relatively, like as far as I'm concerned, it is easy to get a job. And if you've watched one of the videos I made earlier, you must have seen that I said in the video that I'll put the link somewhere, that it is expected that even if you're a manager from your home country, it is expected that when you come here, you don't expect to also start from that managerial position. So if you're someone that is willing to start from somewhere and then grow, it is relatively easy to get a job. You don't necessarily have to know somebody. You don't necessarily have to, you don't need your father to be the CEO of the company. You don't need your father to know to be the friend of the person. You don't need to like, it is practically all you need is your skills and your ability to sell your skills, ability to tell the employer that you are the right person for the job. That's all you need, and it is and by God's grace, with God's favor, it is easy to get a job. And that the fact that it is easy to get a job without having to know somebody, without having to be the child of somebody, without being the child of an influential person, is something that gets me. Every time I think about the fact that I hear of a friend or somebody that new person that maybe we arrive at the same time, or and they are saying that they got a job somewhere, no matter where it is, the fact is you have an opportunity to earn money. It gets me thinking that this is actually a place to be. It is actually a good place, a great place to be. Actually, I love that about Canada. So far in my few months of being here, these are the few things I can't categorically say. There are some also other salient things, but these are the few things I can say that I love about being here. I hope you enjoyed watching, and thanks for watching. Until we see in the next video, have a beautiful life. In case you have not subscribed to the channel, now is a good time to click on the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss subsequent videos. Thanks for watching. Until we see in the next video, keep winning and have a beautiful life. Bye guys. Bye.